morning all. Sorry we're late today. Now I'm here with the delightful Katie Brindle, who oozes health always. Whenever I see her, she just oozes this kind of inward, outward health. And I always wonder where it's from, but it's something that I know when I look at you that it's to do with Chinese medicine, because you're a biggest advocate, you trained in it for many years. And so today what we're going to do is learn those points in our body that allow the energy to flow incredibly well and will give us back our, what is it called?
Vavavoom.
Vavavoom, but is there a Chinese word for it?
Qi.
Qi. Qi, that's, I knew that was a word and it sounded like something to eat. Qi. Give us back our qi. So if you're kind of not into woo-woo, but you do think, I would love to feel that flow, and even if we can't put a finger on what that means, I think there's days we all wake up where we feel everything goes well and our body is just going with it. And that's, I think, in a way, a very loose interpretation of maybe the chi going well.
Yes, going with the flow, which is a turn of phrase.
Yeah. It is a turn of phrase. It does come from Chinese medicine.
Yes, it does.
It really does.
Lots of things do.
That. So for us to go with the flow, okay, we're going to learn today. Now, tools-wise, Katie, you have brought out the new tool, which we're going to use, but you've got alternatives. So this is a fantastic tool that Katie's using. It's not a promo for the tool today. It's just, when Katie, you did this with me on Instagram and you showed me, I was afterwards thinking, I really want more women and men out there to understand they can find those pressure points and use them with a tool, which you're going to say what else you can use to release things when you're feeling. So what else can you use at home?
Well, the best is this. It really is a makeup brush.
You brought
chopsticks,
which are great. But the makeup brush, interestingly, has more of a relationship with the end here. This is lava, isn't it?
Yes, it's Bianstone, which is a really amazing stone to use on the body because it draws energy to it. So that's why that is obviously superior. But when you're dealing with acupressure, what you want to do is stimulate the right spot. That's the most important thing, and you can do that with a makeup brush.
All right, so if you want to go and get tools, go in the kitchen, go wherever, if you've got the tea brushes, that's great. You can use different sizes. I'm using the blusher brush. Otherwise, Chinese chopsticks. Otherwise, we had one other idea. What was the other idea?
Oh, the rubber end of a pencil.
The rubber end of a pencil. If anyone still has a pencil in their life, I'm hoping so too. Good morning, everyone. How are we? UAE, Donna, good morning. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Randy. Good morning, Rennie. Smiling and laughing, the sun. Natalie, good morning. Danielle, hi from Australia. Larissa, hi from Australia. I just want to say that it's, for me, something that I'm not going to say since we did it, I felt that flow, but it's really helped. So we're going to strip, aren't we?
Well, I already am in a semi-strip.
She's already stripped. So
I'm wearing the same thing twice, Trinny.
That's all right, darling. It's two different channels. Let's hope not everyone's on the same one.
Let's hope not.
But I'm just going to go down to my, I'm just checking I have a bra on that's not see-through. But you can also do this in the privacy of your own home. You can strip down and you can do it with us. I'm just going to also take off my bangles and take off my ring. So
these points we're going to talk about today are, I call them the mighty 10. Okay, because the thing is, there's hundreds of acupressure points all over the body, which we need to understand. But when you're doing this for yourself at home, you don't need to know that many to get an impact on the body. Right. So these are the basic 10, easy to find, really effective, and you're going to feel the difference straight away. And that's why I'm always in favour of that, not 6 months' time.
And I really did when I did this last week. So how many of you, first of all, have done acupuncture, gone to an acupuncturist or done any kind of pressure puncture or know anything about it? Good to know what kind of knowledge base we're talking to. But I'm going to presume none of you know that much because I didn't know that much and I really still don't. So let's get started.
Right, so I would suggest, do you want to use the Bianstone and I'll use a chopstick?
Yes, that's a perfect idea. I use it. Yes, great.
Because the first point that we always start with is the point which is right here called Yin Tang. Now, for you, what I would do is use the soft end of the tool just there, just to apply.
And you could use that.
You can. You can use that. Okay. So you don't want to overstimulate that point.
So you show them more what to do.
So it's a really easy point. It's called Yin Tang, and it's really good for overthinking, stress. You know when you've got too much going on in your head, which is all of us. It's right between the eyebrows, just here.
Yeah.
And you just take whatever tool you're using. Yeah. And you can just either hold the tool like you would there, just holding it, allowing the frequency to go into the body.
Properly, darling.
Or if we're using something more like a chopstick or a makeup brush, then we're just applying a very gentle pressure. Now, the other thing when you're doing this kind of work is you want to get your mind involved, because your mind is the ultimate healing tool. So the more you focus on what you're doing and why, the better the results. It's called placebo effect, and it is indeed a thing. Right. So you just breathe slowly. If you wish, you can close your eyes.
Just, how hard are we pressing,
well,
Katie?
I'm pressing as if I was stroking a baby. Is probably the way to describe that pressure. Yeah. If this is a sensitive spot, now this area here in face reflexology is the liver. Okay, so the liver is very much responsible for detoxification, bitterness, anger, frustration, decision making, problem solving. These are the kinds of things. So if your liver, you think, has been involved in any of those things, which is most of us, you just want to allow the sensation of pressure to go into your sensory sort of perception. You're just feeling that someone's just gently caressing it. Breathing gently in and out. And it's very relaxing. This point's very good if you're trying to get to sleep at night and your mind's kind of buzzing and you can't stop thinking. You just put a little bit of pressure on this point and it really starts to relax. How's that feeling?
It's feeling fine. I mean, I'm feeling that pressure on it. If anyone's joining us, I'm here with the delightful Katie Brindle, and we're learning acupressure points that can really help to have that lovely flow inside your body so that you feel a better energy inside your body and you just feel uncranky, I'm going to say.
Yeah. One lady here, Trinny's just saying, can you use the finger? Is it better than an object? Yeah. Can I answer that one?
Please answer any questions, Katie, because you know everything more than this.
So the reason we don't use a finger, if perhaps everyone would like to just remove the tool and try a finger instead, just to make the point of difference. The problem with using your fingers instead of a tool is that the nerve endings on your fingers are way faster to the brain than any other area of the body.
You're feeling your finger more than the point.
Yeah, so you don't feel the benefit. Can you feel it's confused?
Yeah.
So if you then put the tool back, immediately the brain's gone, oh, she's holding a tool. And now all of the pleasure signals are on the point itself, so it's not getting muddled up. That's why we recommend to use things like the back of a makeup brush or a chopstick, even if you haven't got the Bian stone. So that's the first point. Now, this is an interesting one, obviously, because a lady asked about Botox.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, I'm all inclusive for everyone does everything they want to do. So if you've had Botox there, which is a common space, you just apply the tool gently, and it's good because it's going to allow the energy to flow, perhaps in something which has been slightly inhibited with its movements. So I think it's a good thing to do if you've had Botox.
Can I ask you, you have a lot of like a bindi that you put on in Indian culture, some elements of Indian culture. Has that got anything to do with that point as well?
I don't know enough about it, but I would assume so, yes, because it's too much of a coincidence for it not to be. I think it's to do with the third eye chakra and receiving the spiritual benefits from deities is what that is. But this point is also about that.
Okay.
It's about the Shen in Chinese medicine, which is about the emotional well-being and your relationship to your higher self.
So if you're having a sort of emotionally difficult time, is that a really good one to do?
Yes, very much so. Right. You know, you often find people kind of go like this or go like this.
They feel that tension there anyway, intuitively.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know these things. We are kind of tuned into how we feel. So this is it's also very easy to access point.
How long do you do it for on each point?
Well, you can do up to 10 minutes, but you won't.
Really? Okay.
I mean,
but we just did a minute. So is a minute okay?
A minute's fine. And
right.
how do you feel now you've done your minute?
I don't know. I always feel good when I'm around you.
Oh, but thank you, Trinny.
But
Me too.
I feel good. I do. Let's keep going.
Good, let's keep going. Okay,
all
so
right. Are you ready? How are you all feeling as well? Somebody's using a rose quartz sphere. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Okay, let's keep going.
So the next one is a point on the large intestine channel. Now, the interesting thing about channels, in fact, we just printed this out. I don't know if that was helpful.
That's interesting. I mean, that's great, but it's very, very detailed. But we can
just to give you
always
the gist.
do this. But it gives you a sense of all these meridian lines and the different points of which you can capture things that are being stuck in your body.
So the meridian lines don't necessarily link directly to the organ. So for example, the large intestine is obviously down here, but the channel of the large intestine starts here on the index finger and just goes up the inside of the body, over and across, this is stiff upper lip, over here, ending where it starts with where it connects to the lung meridian, which is on the nose. So there's all this incredible intricate relationship.
So you could be, in a way, how reflexology, you're pressing apart to deal with the liver.
Yes.
So it's that kind of further away, but
the easiest points on this channel, which are incredibly good for menopause, for bloating, for when we're burying emotions and we're sort of lugging it all around and feeling heavy and low. There's a really brilliant point by just bending the arm.
Heavy emotions, I love that, because we can all identify with that sense of heavy emotions.
Yes, it's heavy metal. This is the metal element in the body. So just where you can see that little line where it finishes, it's just there. Okay, and
so
that...
I'm just going to go up here in case you've got the comments high up.
Yeah. So that is large intestine 11.
So where that line finishes.
Yes, exactly
So
there.
I'll just go down a bit so you can see this easier. So where the line finishes.
And because the tool's quite thick, you can be a little bit, I say, a bit Jamie Oliver. You know, you can be a bit kind of rough and ready with it, kind of. You don't have to be like Raymond Blanc, and it's got to be specific.
All right,
that's what we have to do.
Because I think I can worry that if I'm 1 millimetre off, it won't have the same effect.
No. With this tool, because it's thick, you see. I say using your tool, but look, with these tools, they're thick. So as long as you're basically there, you're fine. Acupuncturists have to do it within half a grain of rice. But that's our job and that's our training. But when you're doing this for yourself at home, you can be a little bit more homemade.
I'm noticing you're moving this one, and the other one we didn't move so much. What's the difference between just pressing and moving?
You can do many different things. You can move this point as well, because basically you can stimulate the point, but you can hold it and move it with your imagination. So as long as you're engaging with what you're doing.
If it's a bit sore, Anne says, what could that be? So this is which meridian?
Pain.
From where?
Emotional
pain.
Yeah, emotional and physical pain. So these large intestine points I'm teaching you.
You mean there's something in your intestine going on?
No, not just the intestine. The large intestine channel is very much about releasing and letting go. Okay, because if you think about what the job of the organ is doing, is that's the last chance saloon of the body to excrete. Because the job of the metal element, which is the lung and the large intestine, is what gets to stay in the body, your breath, and what gets to go out of the body, which is, you know, the end result of your digestive system. So when you're holding on to pain, you're often gripping, and the large intestine is going to go like this. When you start to stimulate it, it's likely, if it's feeling tender, that there is actually physical or emotional pain in your body.
So the more you're doing it, the more you might release that pain?
Yes, you often find after this you get a nice bowel movement, or you find that this is very good for pain relief, especially in the teeth and in the upper shoulders.
Should you be doing it, and do they have a different bit they're affecting on both points? So this point and the other arm? Because somebody's saying, should you do both arms?
Yes, you should definitely do both arms. We'll just swap over to the other side.
Is there a difference in the meridian structure?
No, it's totally parallel across the body. Now, obviously, some points you only have one point. Like there's only one Yin Tang, because this is where it meets in the body. But the large intestine has got its channel going up both sides of the body, like this.
Okay. Sue said, I've got crepey loose skin when I bend my elbow, so not sure where the end is. I do too, darling. Don't worry about it. Just go to literally where you feel the end of the arm creases before you get to the arm itself, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes. Otherwise, just look at the inside of your arm and put your finger where you're going to bend
it,
and just go round to the outside edge.
Great. That's
and then
a very good way.
You'll just feel a nice little belly, sort of bit of belly just there. You can you'll get used to these. They're little. Once you get the hang of them, they feel correct. You feel a sensation from them. This is the side where I had my car accident, and this is always the side that hurts more. And I can immediately feel my shoulder pain just goes like that when I press it.
A very good point, which somebody said, and you clear this up for me, because I thought the lymphatic system is travelling across the same motorway as this meridian channel, and it's not, in a way. So, because Gina says, once all these points are activated and released, is a lymphatic massage good to clear everything?
Yes.
So that's actually what you're saying is after. After they've done it,
in terms of the meridians of the energy of the body is like Wi-Fi in the house, okay? And I kind of like to think of the lymphatic system like the water system, okay? Because that's the kind of way to describe it that makes sense. So often, the meridian channels follow the nervous system and the lymphatic system. Not entirely and not 100%, but they are absolutely channeling across each other, because the body has got this incredibly sophisticated network. Like we do as a country, you've got rails, canals, roads, and sometimes they're following each other and sometimes they're diverting off and doing their own thing. But what they're doing is moving. That's what you need to do.
And lots of water afterwards. Yes, that is so true. Dolly's saying, I'm getting all my crystal spheres out, loving this, fantastic.
Excellent.
Ira's saying, which point is for the digestive system and bowel movement?
I
think lots of people want to know that too.
Yeah, this one, which is why we've included it. And shall we move to the other one, which is another famous point on the large intestine channel, not to be used if you're pregnant, please. So if you're pregnant, do not use this point. It's a very famous point for pain, headaches, bowel movements, and heavy metals. So that's it, you press it together and go to where the flesh sort of meets at the top, there we go, and stimulate. And this is joining valley. Now, this is a really important point for energy flow in the body. You can just hold it if you want.
Yeah.
You can stimulate it. It's also really good if you feel like you're going down with a cold. It's good for the immune system, and it's really good for allowing the bowels to basically relax and open.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, have you really had success that if somebody's constipated, you do this and it releases the tension of maybe if you've got, there's bowel movements where you've just eaten too much bread, and there's bowel movements where you're holding on to mental stuff so you can't poo.
Yes.
Is it more that second one?
No, it's both. It really is both, because shall I give you the two things that I do for perfect bowel movements? Okay.
Okay,
right. This is number one, is pressing this point here. But number two, no one knows.
For the number two.
For the number two. No one actually seems to know this, and I don't know why not. But the peristalsis of the gut, which is the movement of the gut, is controlled by the breath. It's controlled by the diaphragm.
Okay.
This is why because I always questioned at university going, but why is the lung and the large intestine connected? Why? What have they got in common with it? Why? One's breath, one's food, what's this? But it's because the diaphragm moving in and out controls peristalsis of the gut, which controls the diaphragm. So if you're stressed, or you're holding on to everything or gripping, you're not going to move the diaphragm in and out sufficiently to control the peristalsis. And it's free.
Literally, you breathe.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
But then, okay, you breathe. That's what you've got to give us.
Yeah, you breathe deeply. I mean, don't just breathe, we're all going to breathe.
But
breathing and pressing on this is really good. Now, obviously, there's other things we can do too. Like, there's all sorts of massages that we can do with that as well, to what we call dredging the channel.
We'll do that at the end.
We'll do that, yeah.
Yeah, because again, on number 3 of our meridian lines, and I think this is brilliant, I have sore thumb at the joint. Will this help?
Yes, that's probably why you've got a sore thumb. And the other thing you can do is gua sha over the joint, because you can then, not with this tool obviously, but you can at home use a Chinese soup spoon, or you could just about use a copper coin, although be really careful with that, but ideally use the right tool and press stroke over the area, because gua sha releases inflammation. It's one of the big things that it does.
Yeah. Which point work? Somebody, Esperanza says, what can I do to stop crying?
The first thing is we need to know why, if you're upset about something specific. Crying is the release of the liver, because the liver opens to the eye. So what happens is when your liver is bitter or angry or frustrated or not allowed to follow its flow or the blueprint of your soul or why you're here, the meaning of your life, the liver will often express its frustration through tears in order to release the energy.
Makes such sense.
I know, it's good, isn't it? I love Chinese medicine so much.
I love it too. How much pressure are you using, please? I really need this. So give me another analogy of how much pressure you're using.
This one is firm, okay? So for this one, I would call it almost grateful pain.
Like nearly hurting
massage.
you.
Yes, when you think
grateful pain.
Yeah, like like we call it shi in Chinese. It's an shi point. It's a shi, yes, It's that sensation.
Yeah. Wonder why we shouldn't do it if you're pregnant. Somebody wants to know.
Because it's such a releasing point that
you can actually, if you want to give birth and you're overdue?
Yes. Well, that's one of the points that you can use. There's actually there's a point protocol for that, which when you then understand acupressure, it's quite handy, because you can use old Dr. Google and go acupressure points for bringing on, inducing, and it'll go bladder 36, it'll go blah, da, 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 da. And at the moment you'll be like, I don't know what that means. But once you start to realise that it's just a location on the body, you press it, boom.
Okay, great. Yeah. I love to be in control like this. Fantastic.
I know, me too.
Both hands, yes. I mean, you think that when we're doing these 10 points, then if we did a minute on each, it's 20 minutes, and we do both hands?
Yes.
Is it important to do both sides?
It would be, and you don't have to spend, I mean, I call all the tools that I use, I basically use in front of Netflix. I mean, I do. Okay. I mean, everything's downstairs in front of the telly so that I can sit there watching whatever, sort of fiddling around,
Yeah.
My husband calls it endless prettifications.
This hurts a little, is that normal? I mean, I find I have only done this point, but when I have a bad headache, this point really hurts.
It does.
So is it because there's maybe something going on in her body?
It's releasing, because the reason why you get pain, and this is a very strong pain relieving point specifically for headaches, but all pain, is because there's a blockage in the body. These energy flows are the origin of all the issues in the body. That's how Chinese medicine works, and that's what differentiates it to the West. This medicine was designed on living bodies. Western medicine came off dead bodies. So energy flow wasn't recognised. That's the difference. And it's okay. Yeah. We just need both. So the idea is that the energy flow...
Western medicine learnt on dead bodies.
They did. They did in the 1750s, and that's okay.
Faith, you've got something you want to throw in there. Come on, darling.
Yes, I do. So someone said, can you do this if you have arthritis pain and fibromyalgia?
Fibromyalgia, this is very good for. Obviously, if you've got arthritis in the joints and you can't press very hard, then just go gently and just stimulate the point more gently for longer. We call that grain of sand therapy, especially if you're elderly or you've got like advanced issues.
Yeah. Jennifer's saying tiredness because of thyroid. Can any of this help?
Yes, it can, although the thyroid is normally connected to the liver energy. And the sort of glands are connected to the liver in Chinese medicine.
So we should be on that one?
Yes.
For the liver?
Yeah, well, this one for the liver, and there's one on the foot as well.
Okay,
and then I'd recommend Qigong to kind of go integrate into what this is.
Great. Moira says my headache has totally gone after doing my thumbs. That's brilliant. I mean, it is one. That's the first thing I ever learnt in Chinese medicine, actually. Could you come more centre? Sorry, we can come more centre. Yes, come. Arthritis, yes. Sinus pain. So many questions now. Sinus?
Yep. So sinus ones is good. This one here, welcome fragrance, either side of the nostrils. Now this is a little bit big for that one.
Okay.
So I might just swap to the chopstick. Or an eyeshadow brush would be good.
All right, fine. So I might just do chopstick. Yep.
So it's just here, either side here. So you could even use a finger if you absolutely had to. It's not, as we've discussed, it's not as good, but just to get in there. So this is welcome fragrance. This is a really good point for sinusitis.
Okay.
There's another therapy called halo therapy, which is brilliant for sinusitis, which Trinny, we could show at some point.
We could do some other things later. You could do your 10 asked questions. We can do another session with Katie, because I think we could be here for hours. Leah, I've had a headache since Monday, so this will really relieve my headache. That's good to know.
Yay!
Karen says one side was more tender than the other. Is there a difference between the right and left-hand side?
Yes, there are.
So that was when she was doing this.
Okay, so there's two reasons for that. One could be that you've got pain on one side of your body, like my right shoulder hurts because of an accident. It could be that. But often with the body, the way we describe it in Chinese medicine is that the liver, although the liver is on the right, from an energetic perspective, the liver controls the left-hand side of the body and the lungs control the right. And it's all to do with really cool Taoism about mystic white tigers and mystic green dragons. It all gets really exciting. So basically, but the liver is the left and the lung is the right. So if you've got pain on the right, it's more connected to the lung. If it's more on the left, it's more to do with the liver. And that is more to do with probably emotions and remember, in our medicine, the organs control every aspect of your body's health.
Yeah.
All of it. Emotions, spirit, meaning of
Everything.
life, pain, body, the lot. So, and then we can drill it down to the organ.
Okay, what's our next point, Katie?
Right, so the next one is on in the body itself, which is Ren 12, which is this point just here. Now this point, this is where I start to do my stripping.
Yeah.
So this is an easy point to discover. So there's two ways of doing it. You either get to your middle, palpate up your ribs, so you'll feel your ribs here, and you'll get to this middly bit just here, which is called the scaphoid process, and it's like a little notch. That's where the lungs meet, just here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now then you've got your belly button, and Ren 12 is halfway between the two.
Okay.
So
we go. So between the belly button and
this scaphoid process here, which you can
is that
find.
the hard end bit?
Yes, that notchy bit just there.
Yeah.
And you just go halfway. Okay. It doesn't have to be too specific.
Yeah.
You want to be, and the other way of doing it is you see your waist. Make sure that your palms are on your waist, middle fingers pointing to each other.
Yeah.
And you come straight round.
So waist being for everyone the narrowest part of you, going up and down, and everyone has a bit that feels narrow. Whatever your shape, you should find that point. And if you feel you're straight up and down, then do exactly what Katie's saying, halfway point between that bit there and Okay, great. So
now,
we're putting it there. We're just holding it there.
Now this point, Ren 12, is the cure for hiccups.
Yes, this is so good. I feel like sick when we do this point, so I want you to tell me what this is about.
It's also
and the cure for hiccups.
Okay, so cure for hiccups is you stimulate this. It's also joining a lot of the digestive organs together. It's also what we call the front moo point of the stomach. Now, a moo point is an alarm point which shows us that there's an organ which is not quite as happy as it should be. Now, it doesn't mean that you're about to kind of collapse or something. This is energy. It just means that there's possibly too much heat, or that we're perhaps eating too quickly, or just perhaps rushing around a bit too much. It means that the stomach is just struggling ever so slightly.
Right.
So it's a good thing to know in preventative health, because prevention is all about ensuring that it doesn't then get a foothold in the body and becomes worse, like we do with our teeth. We prevent our teeth getting sick.
Yeah.
So this is the same. If this is feeling a bit icky, which often it does with people, it means your digestive system is struggling. And by stimulating the point and breathing gently into it as you're stimulating, you're going to improve it.
Okay, because I am really feeling this actually.
So perhaps ease off slightly. We don't need to press too hard. Because often, our stomachs are related to the earth energy in the body. It's the yang aspect of earth.
Okay.
And earth is about giving, it's about pampering, it's about educating, it's about nurturing. And often we as women are often over-giving and we're often depleting our energy supplies. So this is a very good point to stimulate.
Great. Lots of people are saying it's quite sore, and I think that's really interesting. So Amy and the other lady said that. How often do we have to practice these movements? Is it once a day?
I mean, it's one of those things that it depends kind of how much time you have and how well you feel. So if you're not very well, then these are very good points to stimulate as regularly as possible. So once a day. I'm all for practicality. So as I said, I tend to do these things as part of my evening routine. So for example, if I'm foot bathing, which is an extremely good thing to do before bed, okay, which we can talk about that.
We'll do foot bathing another
time.
I'm already thinking, what's foot bathing? I want to know everything. Okay, we'll definitely do foot bathing as a separate subject.
But when you're doing your ablutions at night, then just grab your tool, whichever one you're using,
and just try and do a bit of it.
And you can do ding 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 over the body.
Lots of people saying strange sensation.
Yes.
Pamela, I have sciatica pains on my left leg and hip during the night. Is there anything you can recommend? So we might look at sciatica as well, but we're going to do a couple of questions, do a point, and then take some solutions in between. So let's just go to the next point and we can answer sciatica.
So next point is Ren 4. So Ren 4, this is as naked as I'm going to get everyone.
Okay.
So you go to sort of where a C-section scar would be, or top of the pelvis.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you go from there to the belly button halfway. Okay, so, and again, don't worry too much if you're thinking, I'm not sure if I've got it quite right. The worst thing that you'll do is hit Ren 3. And that's a really good point anyway. So, So, but anyway, halfway between the two is Ren 4. Now, this is a brilliant point again for lower digestive function, so constipation, but it's also a sea of energy point. So this is very good for us ladies if we're deficient and depleted and tired. That what you can do with this point is you can stimulate it here and allow a deep energy flow of deep constitutional energy that's like a reservoir. It's like a phone battery pack. So if you've got busy phone day and you've got your extra charge with you in case you run out, this is that point. It's going to give you this extra energy boost.
Great. Can you just write down, Faith, teeth grinding, sciatica and menopause? Thank you.
So this is very good for harmonizing the lower jiao, as we say in Chinese medicine. If you've had painful periods, endometriosis, difficult births, fertility issues, menopause issues, anything to do with the menopause, anything to do with female gynaecology, basically, this is the point. Yeah. It's really good for us.
Makes you feel a bit sick at this point too.
Often they do because they're clogged. So the way that I describe these points, and don't forget, Trinny, it's subtle. So imagine them a bit like the drain of a shower that's got a bit clogged up with hair and stuff, and it needs a bit of clean. So these points clean up, and don't forget you're right on a chakra point here as well. So it's got many functions, this point.
All right, bloating as well. We're going to talk about.
Yeah, this one's good for bloating.
Anything that can help with the water retention. We'll just write down water retention too, Faith.
Yep. This one's good for that too, but there's.
I'm in perimenopausal. There aren't enough makeup brushes in the world. Oh, darling.
Bless you.
There is also, have you looked at HRT? Have you looked at sage? Have you looked at, cherry night powder for sleep? Have you looked at magnolia rhodiola for mood? Those are my 3 things I use from Victoria Health that I love.
And Qigong, Qigong is brilliant for the menopause. Absolutely brilliant. So
look at Qigong too.
Yeah.
My right thumb has been sore for a long time. I am right-handed, so I'm in agony all day. Please help. It's very difficult to know how
gua sha
that might be.
Gua sha so you can use so with that tool it's particularly good because you can use that bit there.
This, and it can be some kind of repetitive strain injury you got, but there is a metal one like this, the metal gua sha, which I use the curved end a bit on anything that feels arthritic or really sore, and it's such a relief.
Yeah.
This instrument is called the Bayan.
Yeah, Bian stone. Yeah.
Bian stone, and it's from Hayo'u. We've been using this. We've been using makeup brushes if you don't have it. I love this bloody tool though. You've got to get it really. And then we've been using chopsticks as well. All right, we're going to go on to the next point and then we'll do some more questions. I love this, Gemma. You've unleashed a whole new thing. I can't wait to read up and try it. I know, I'm like really there now on this. Okay, next point.
I know, I think you might be studying Chinese medicine in your...
I just want to keep doing it with you, and I think we should do it at least once a month so we can all get to learn it. What do we feel about that, ladies? Because I feel I don't want to forget this now, and I want to keep being reminded and not getting to look up on Google, and keep having you teach us once a month.
Yeah.
So think about it, Katie.
No, I'd love to, thank you.
And we could just really all get, like we might do exercising with Natalie on Instagram, but on Facebook we're doing health, which I really like. Okay. Next one. Yeah.
Right, so the next one, we're going to have to bring the phone down a bit.
Yeah, okay, we're going to bring the phone
because
down a
it's
bit.
just above my knee, so it's not really knee
so
competition here.
I have
so
to do
I
this
stand
one
over here.
first.
Sorry about my bruising. I've been doing some other weird and wonderful product sampling, so just ignore that my weird stuff. So this is Spleen 10, which is called Sea of Blood. Okay, now again, brilliant for women, okay, because often we're blood deficient, especially if you have heavy periods or pregnancies or menopause. So it's a very easy point to locate. Look at your knee, you'll see that there's two little dips either side. These are called the eyes of the knee. And
I've got such an overhang, those dips have nearly gone, but anyway, yeah.
I love the way you say that.
No, I mean, my knees talk to each other. Hello, good morning, Katie, how are you today?
Okay, so inside here,
Yeah.
okay, just tense the leg a little bit and you'll see the little muscle just pops up just here, right there it is, right there.
Yeah.
There's the belly and that's the point. And you just stimulate, and then you can just relax after that and just put the point in. Now you'll notice...
So it's above the kneecap?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just if you tighten the leg, you'll see that this muscle here just kind of pops up ever so slightly, and it's that belly, it's just that
I got the belly,
bit
I've got
just
the
there.
fatty bit now.
Yeah. Now, this is a really lovely point. It's also brilliant for damp. Now, what's damp? Yeah, now damp is
damp?
because in Chinese medicine we describe the body in terms of a natural landscape. So you'll be too hot, too damp, too cold, too fiery, whatever. So women who struggle with weight, like me, whereby it goes on very quickly, and we get heavy legs, puffing, bloating, overhang of the knees. This is often because this point needs a really good stimulation. Okay. It's also really good for blood loss, exhaustion, fatigue, and converting food more efficiently, so metabolism. So this is a really brilliant point for that. Very easy to locate. I think whilst we're down here, shall I go down to the next one? So the next one is stomach.
So did we all get that? Let me just see if anyone has any questions on that. Where are we? Have we got any questions on this actual...
Not on that one, but a lot of people are saying, yes, please, a regular slot.
Okay, that's great. We'll do it. We'll definitely do it. If you're up for it, Katie,
Of course, I'd love to. I love coming around to it. It's great. It feels so glamorous. Right.
Okay.
So next point is if you take your four fingers, put them together, hold the index finger just under the knee, so where the kneecap finishes basically, and you see where your little finger is. Right. So then just go to your little finger and come back a tiny bit.
So on the side of my knee, let me just do that. I'm on the side of my leg, 4 fingers below my knee. Okay.
So press the little finger in, so there's the point, right? And then there's the point. Just come back a little bit.
Go back a little bit.
It really, officially, it's a finger's width off the bone at the front. That's kind of
a finger's width off the bone. Okay, well I'm more than a finger's width, so I'm going to do there then.
So it's there. That's stomach 36.
Finger's width off the bone. That's good to understand that.
Yeah. So it's quite, again, it's easy to find. You're just using your fingers. You go sort of down to the little finger, then back a tiny bit. So
and with this again, we're rubbing it around a little bit. We're not just pressing it in.
You can just press, or personally I like to stimulate, okay, because I feel then I can kind of almost draw a compass, so I'm sort of going into the knee, because then I'm noticing how I'm feeling, because this is the trick, you're in control here. So this is you, notice how you feel. This is time to concentrate on yourself. Now this point is called foot 3 miles, or Zusan Li. It's the most important acupuncture point of all of them.
I'm just going to show them close up, just so
I've just got a couple of questions on this one.
So I'm just showing you exactly where it is here.
Straight.
You can see where I'm doing it. So
if you were doing this for yourself, you would normally be sat on a sofa or sat on your bathroom floor on your bed.
Fingers there on the side.
So yes, I would have your
down,
leg straight.
and one finger
but you
over
can be just
from
sat
your
at the desk. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
and then press there. So I'm pressing there, and there's my front bone, and there's my knee. Just so, because I think people couldn't see it. So.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's just because I was just thinking it might be good to see it close up.
Someone else said, can you do it lying down?
Yes.
You can do it
lying down or sitting down. I mean, again, obviously if you were having acupuncture, you'd be lying on a bed. But
so recap what this is best for, because I was focusing so much on doing it, I didn't hear you.
So it's the earth point on the stomach channel, which is the yang aspect of earth. So it's basically very highly energizing to the body. The idea of calling it
sorry,
pressing
very highly energy on the body. I'm going in on the other side. Okay.
So foot 3 miles, the reason it's called that is it means that for every mile that your body could normally walk, if you stimulate this point, you can do 3 miles instead.
Really?
So it triples up the energy of the body. Now that doesn't mean that we should be kind of constantly pressing it in order to re-energize ourselves and then not eating properly and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. But what it does mean is on those really busy days when you're flagging, let's say it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and and you haven't got time to meditate and you think, I've got to keep going and I'm about to go and have a coffee and a piece of cake. And we know, and I'm going, that's not so great for me. This is a very good point to stimulate in that. It's very good for supporting the digestive system, to increase the quality of your blood. Now in Chinese medicine and in Western medicine, we are obsessed with blood. Okay, and one of the great things about Western science where we are now is that blood analysis is really sophisticated, so we can really know what's going on. But we want good quality blood. It works for the immune system, it works for passing all the nutrients around the body, and if it's not moving efficiently, you're going to feel not great. Okay, so by stimulating that point, you're going to massively help.
Brilliant. Okay.
So if there's
carry on. Sorry, yes.
Just to say, if there's one point, that's the one point. Okay?
That's the one point that's going to be like really. I mean, I have to just tell you, I'm feeling fucking good.
Yeah.
I am. There's something I find very, very effective about it. So I'm so excited we're doing it. I think everyone's very keen.
Yeah, well, it works.
And we can go close up as well if you don't get it. And there was some other question. It was a good question. If you've just joined us, all right, I'm just going to say, I'm here with Katie Brindle, and Katie Brindle is a Chinese acupuncturist who has many years experience. She also has got some amazing tools. We're using one of her tools here today, which is called the Hayo'u Method, Bian Stone. And if you don't have this, you can use the end of a makeup brush, or you can use a chopstick, or you could use a pencil with a rubber at the end. And we're going through the meridian points of the body and we're getting the energy flowing so we feel good. And we're also talking about specific points today and how they help specific things in your body. So if you want to get an understanding, watch again from the beginning if you've just joined us. Okay, let's get a new point and then we're going to take questions.
Okay, so should we do one more point?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've done, because you said it was 10 points.
Yes.
So to remind, don't tell me. I'm going to see if I'm sorry. I want to see if I'm, so point number 1.
Yep.
1. Point number 2.
Yep.
Point number 3.
Yep.
Faith just went. Point number 3. Point number 4.
Yeah.
Point number 5.
Yeah.
Point number 6.
Yeah.
Point number 7.
Outside leg.
Outside leg.
Yes.
7. Okay.
Yes.
And okay, now we've got 8, 9, 10.
Yes. Okay. So 8, 9, 10. Really easy. The next one is spleen 6.
Yep.
Okay, which is called San Yin Jiao. Now, this is a meeting point of 3 of the 5 most important organs of the body. So you press this, you're hitting 3 things at once.
Yeah.
So again, you take your 4 fingers.
Yeah.
This time you put your little finger on the middle of your ankle bone.
Oh, ankle, great.
Okay, here. And then you go to where your index finger is. Just come ever so slightly off the bone.
Put that there so you can really see what Katie's talking about.
So I've taken 4 fingers. I've gone to the middle point of my inside ankle. There it is there.
Yeah.
Go to the index finger and just come back a bit. So you're just on the fleshy bit just there.
So I'm going to get used to it again because they sometimes have comments. Okay, so yeah, here's Katie's ankle. Yeah.
So it's just there. And this is...
Could you do it again? Just it's just, I think, with a comment. So
it's there.
4 points. So ankle bone, middle of the ankle bone, 4 points. That point, go down. So it's perpendicular to your ankle.
Exactly,
okay,
just
great.
there.
There.
And there's the point there.
Okay, great.
So we're stimulating this point because
That's
what
good.
we're doing here is stimulating the spleen, the liver, and the kidney. It's like Birmingham Central Station. It's like there's a whole load of trains that all meet there, and then you can make your connections elsewhere.
Like here.
That's it.
Okay, so what's that good for, Katie?
Because it's good for those 3 key organs, that's good for anything to do with the metabolism, for blood, for energy, for smooth flow, for menstruation, for the urinary system, for unblocking fear, for unblocking worry, for unblocking anger and bitterness. It's good for allowing the energy of the body to flow smoothly. I mean, basically everything.
It is. I mean, that
such a great
sounds like
point.
an everything moment.
It's an everything
Can
point.
I just say what's interesting is just what I find. Let's get it so they can see better. What I'm finding most interesting about this is in Western medicine we never talk about the emotional state of the body.
No.
It's always the physical state, and I think we all know we're all enlightened women. Come over, Katie, so they can see you. So having that combination of talking about emotional things along with physical things, I find.
Well, the difference is that the way that we describe it in Chinese medicine is that you have 5 key organs: the heart, the lungs, the kidney, the liver, and the spleen. And those 5 key organs are responsible for the entire health of your body, everything, not just the physical body. They're like kingdoms or empires, kind of controlling everything. And the heart is the commander, but the other organs have got big, big responsibilities. It's like the prime minister and his kind of front benchers. It's like that. And they've got to do everything. So the body is connected. It's quite handy for mental health as well, because we treat mental health via the body, which is very good because it works very nicely in conjunction with Western medicine. It's not competing with what's going on there because we're coming at it. It's like a custard cream. We're coming at it from the other side and you're in the middle. And we're in the 21st century. We need both. It's really tough.
Yeah, we do need both. It's so true. And I think that sometimes we don't always get both. I have had lymph nodes removed after hormonal breast cancer. I can't take any HRT, so all the classic menopausal symptoms. I think a lot of people have asked about good things, good points for menopause symptoms.
Yep.
There are obviously different menopausal symptoms because there's, sweats, there's depression, there's things. So I just wondered if there's a kind of, should we do one which is just devoted to menopause using this in a few weeks? We could choose like 3 subjects and go in detail, and you could just think, what would you come back with? So we could treat, maybe we could think what they were. So menopause, exhaustion, or just let's think about that and think what were those, and maybe sleep.
Yes.
Should we do those?
Yeah. I mean, I think and what I could offer on that would be you do acupressure, but also I could teach you a couple of really simple qigong moves.
Okay.
Because qigong,
that would be so brilliant. Actually,
Because the thing is, it's all free. You can do this stuff with things at home. Women held the healing in ancient times. We were the healers. Okay, so why? Because if you're at home, which we would like you to have been with small children and husbands and things, that if someone in your family was sick, you're going to use anything you can to help them. You're like, herbs,
can I just say,
whatever.
Donna, my husband had a stroke that affected his right side. He's just been using my Trinny brush on his left knee, and he said it felt really good.
Oh,
that's just
it's
a really
your Trinny
good
brush.
Yeah, it's really good. Lisa, I'm lying in bed with flu-like symptoms using my makeup brush on my pressure points, feeling much better now than I did 20 minutes ago. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
So brilliant to hear that. So I'm exactly the same symptoms too in Scotland. Thank you for sharing. I think I need this tool. It's a brilliant tool. What is his surname or address in Ras? Oh, that's just somebody directly having a chat. What does it mean when it really is tender and hurts? That was the ankle one.
Yes, it means that the point is in slight distress. Now remember, this is energy, so this does not mean that your body's about to collapse. It does not mean that at all. It means that energetically it's a bit off kilter. Yeah. It's like a sort of dicky wire on your electric current. It's that. It needs a bit of tweak.
Here sounds like she's done it before, because she's saying spleen 6 on the right leg. Ouch, loving this. I haven't done it for so long. Thank you. So that's brilliant. We brought that back to you a bit. That's brilliant. Sarah's saying, I just tried my knuckle at number 1. It's better than the fingertip when you don't have a tool. That's brilliant. Stimulating hair growth we could do as one that we do later too. We do it on both the left and right hand side, yes. Natalie, do you have to be standing up to do all of these? We've answered that. Just turned in, Cal, can you go over 1 to 4 points again? You know what? If you go and watch this from the beginning, you can get 1 to 10 points. So we've done number 8, so now there's 9 and 10.
Okay, so the next one is Tai Chong, which is a really important liver point. Now, this is on the foot.
Yeah.
So,
oops, that's fine, darling.
It's actually on the foot, the same as
so if I do that, and you put your foot up towards, hang on, let me just do this, and then you can, I'd rest your foot. Can you get your foot up here?
Yeah, I can.
So I'd rest your foot like that, or you can do it on my foot. Do you want to do it on my foot?
The thing is, we want to see it's here.
Oh, the front of the foot, okay.
So if I just do that, there we go.
There we go, I'm a bit taller than you, so do you want to do it on my foot?
Yes, okay, so
just because
it's really simple. So it's exactly like the hand point.
Yeah.
So you go between the big toe and the second toe, you go back to where they meet and come forwards just a bit on that fleshy bit. There. And we're just stimulating here. Now this is a fantastic point for us ladies. It's good for period pain. It's good for PMT. It's good for low mood generally. It's good for depression. It's good for allowing the key responsibility of the liver.
Move it a bit so they can see you.
Is that okay like that?
No, but just move it a bit so they can see you. Yeah. No, just move it a bit so they can see you.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, right.
Perfect, yeah.
Didn't touch your stuff.
Yeah.
So the liver, the primary responsibility...
This one really hurts. Why is it? So why will it hurt?
Many reasons, probably because there's a blockage inside the body on a subtle level where basically there's something which is perhaps being gripped onto, because the liver responsibility is the smooth flow of chi and blood around the body. So that's the energy flow and the blood flow. And if it's blocked in any shape or form, which it's likely to be, because we didn't know any of this when we were growing up, this wasn't part of our heritage.
Yeah.
So
we weren't unblocking it often.
No, and therefore, and by the time you get to our age, I mean, so when sort of getting to what we call the second spring, which is the menopause years, which is a very nice way of thinking about it. We have got the suffering of the survivors, I like to call it, which is, we've survived. In the old days, we'd be dead, but we're not. We're here. But just because we're here, it doesn't mean it's all like, yay, we're here. It's like, oh God, we're here, but we're lugging all this pain and agony around with us.
Oh no, I don't think like that, Katie.
No?
No.
Okay. Well,
I don't think like that. I don't think I'm lugging pain around.
No,
me.
you're not lugging pain around necessarily, but as by the time you've gone through life, we've experienced things.
Okay.
And often we go through difficult situations in life, which I call spiritual initiations, because they're difficult. And if we don't know how to release things absolutely fully, they do sometimes sit in the emotional body and create low-level sort of tension. Okay. So that one's there, and same thing.
And with this, you said left and right-hand side is liver and...
Left is liver, right is lung.
So then if the left is hurting more...
Means the liver is what needs the attention.
Okay.
And this is again about self-diagnosis. You're not going to do yourself any harm focusing on all of the organs of the body, because Chinese medicine works. If your organs are all strong, then the body will feel healthy. It's one of the key things to be aware of. And we recognise the heart in our culture with sort of heart health, but we don't really talk too much about our livers and kidneys and spleens. No. Maybe a little bit of liver flushing sometimes, but it's not as entrenched in our cultural references as it is in Eastern medicine. It isn't. Yeah. So it's useful to know this stuff.
Okay. And last point.
Last point is...
I can't keep my legs up.
Sorry. Last point is kidney 1, which is called great rushing. Now, if you look at the foot, let me do this for you. So, if you squash the foot, you can see that there's a dip just there. You see,
I'm just so surprised. I'm just so amazed that you're standing like that, doing that.
This is qigong.
She literally is doing the split standing up. Okay, that's just.
That's from practicing qigong every day. It's like yoga, but it's slightly different. So basically, you do that. You squish the foot. You'll see a nice little dip in the middle, and there's the point.
Okay. Yep.
Now it's obviously. I'm not that good. Sorry. Dominoes.
Is that it? There.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
That's it. So it's if I show you my hands, because the hands and the feet replicate each other, it's that sort of dip just there on the foot. Okay, that's where you're looking for. Now this is the entry point of the kidney channel, and this is where the water, which is the energy of the body, connects to the earth beneath us, which is this huge, great universal source of energy, because the globe is much bigger than we are. Now this is a really good point for energizing the body. If you're feeling tired, this is the point to press.
Okay, this is great. I'm just looking and thinking, God, I need a pedicure. But this feels very powerful at this point.
Now there's a lot I can teach you with reflexology, expanding on that. That's the point of points. That's the big point on the foot. But there's a myriad of things that you can do with this or the chopstick or the tool to amplify the benefits of that and radiate them out. But
all right, today we've done 10 points. I feel exhausted and infused and inspired all in the same thing. I just want to say, Katie, that we've got a lot more we can do together, and I think having stuff that's on specific subjects. So would we like to see Katie once a month, and then we could do one just devoted to menopause, and then we could do qigong and everything, and then we can do one on sleep, and we can do one on energy flow, everything. I feel many coming up. I hope you enjoyed that. Do you relax the foot or scrunch as you press?
Relax. The scrunch is to find where it is, and then just relax, and then stimulate the point.
Brilliant. Somebody's saying, which points would be good to treat weight loss, please?
Oh, okay. So go for spleen 10, because often people who have stubborn
spleen
weight
10,
issues,
remind us.
Spleen 10 is this one here, which is it's for damp.
Yeah.
Because often if we apply the calories in, calories out formula to weight loss, that's a bit of an oversimplification. Often I find with weight loss, it's more trauma than
you're
fat.
holding on to stuff. Yeah.
So that would be a topic, to be honest with you, which would be brilliant if
if we want to do that. I mean, I don't feel that we as a thing here advocate weight loss. I also appreciate a lot of women who feel they can't shift And I think that we don't talk about it much as a subject, because I just kind of feel every woman has a body that she, the more we can love the bodies we live in, the better. But I do appreciate that as a result of perimenopause and menopause, a lot of women feel they're not the size they used to be, and they're not feeling the lightness. In a way, I'd call it lightness.
Yes.
And that's just not about number of pounds, it's a lightness in their energy.
Yes.
So, and I like the way you come from it, of just how we release that tension, which allows us to bring back the lightness. So
lightness is a great word.
Think about it in that way. But thank you so much for watching. I love this live, Katie. You were really brilliant. And for any other information, we'll leave Katie's details and the lovely tool we used. And if you can't afford to buy the tool, then use a brush. And if you can't get a brush, you might have chopsticks at home, or a pencil with a rubber at the end. Great. All right. We loved it too. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.